Welcome everybody to the MiniMapCast. This is minimap.com.au's weekly games podcast, your favorite weekly games podcast. My name is Kerry Palmer, and joining me for the second to last episode of the year is Jeremy Bratchetich.
Hello. I'm sure you're going to bring it up, but I'm just going to bring it up right now. There's a new graphic that I just threw together last minute that says Game of the Year on it, which I think
Game of the Year, everybody.
Which I think is fun.
If I had a party popper or a kazoo, I go like, like.
I think it actually looks quite nice, but I think I've immediately nullified the effect of it by having the exact same asset right under us permanently on stream, just because it's just like, oh, it's just the same, it's the exact same asset just sitting right below this as Game of the Year. Like it's fine, but it just immediately made me go like, oh, which is funny.
Said it twice. Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Jeremy, I have two questions to ask you.
Okay.
First one is, would you believe that I didn't have the script ready for that last intro bit just then?
100% would believe that.
You see, the reason I ask is because I got it 100% correct off book.
Oh, very nice.
Maybe the first time this year getting that intro correct.
One would say maybe the only time this year.
Well, we've got one more left. We'll see.
Yep.
Jeremy, the other question I had for you is, how high on your Game of the Year list is the Witcher 3 Next Gen update?
I did not play it, so zip.
Oh, right.
I actually didn't even know if it was free or you had to pay for it, or I have not looked into that at all.
I can tell you that it's free if you already own it.
Okay. As in, if I own the base game.
If you own the game,
yep,
on
PS4,
PlayStation or Xbox or PC, then you have the next gen update.
Okay. Is it just bring it in line with the PC version?
No, the PC gets an update as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's ray tracing.
Right. Does it do anything that isn't ray tracing? Because I can't do that.
It adds a new quest. It's got like new gameplay stuff. Like there's a new way to, you know how in Final Fantasy Remake, how you can like hold L1 and you get access to like 4 customizable like quick actions.
Yeah.
It's got a system like that for all of the signs. So you don't have to go into like a radial menu every time you want to change signs.
That's good. I was never a fan of that radial menu.
Yeah, me either.
Nice. Cool.
It's to the point where I can't even tell you what button that one is because I haven't even used it in my time playing. Yeah. It's funny. I haven't played it since 2015, but it's cool going back to it and like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's good.
I'm kind of stuck now because I think I would want to go and play it on new hardware on the PS5 and stuff.
Yeah, it looks good on PS5.
But I don't own the DLC on the PS4 version of the game that I own because I've got the launch, and I want to do that. But
yeah,
I have that on PC, but it doesn't look as good on PC. So I'm just kind of stuck between the relative worst, but the relative worst between both worlds.
That's true. What I would say to you, Jeremy, is you can use cross save and migrate.
Let's be honest, I don't have time to play this game regardless.
No, that's a good point. I was playing it for fun this week.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was playing it, I was like, I should be playing some of these games that I missed out on. But I just wanted to sit down and play something that didn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's like, oh, should I like replay Sifu to see some of the stuff that I missed? Or should I play a bit more Neon White? That I really did want to do, and I'm sad I missed it. But no, instead I played some more Witcher. And I ran into the classic problem last night where I was like, oh man, his default outfit is so cool. I forgot how cool it is. Why did I forget this? And then I changed. I finally got a new chest piece, and he puts on this like pinstripe gambeson, and it's like, oh, that's why.
Yeah, yes.
Because it's impossible to make him look cool after the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into this episode. It's a bit of we're doing a double dose, everyone. If you're here with us live, we're going to be doing 2 episodes today, back to back. And they're both going to be Game of the Year related. What that means for you if you're listening to us after the fact is this is our second to last episode of the year, episode 135. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be discussing some some award category kind of style of things.
Just to interject, I think I might mark this episode as a bonus episode in the feed, so it's not going to actually have a number.
Bonus episode, there you've got it. Episode, the bonus. And we're going to be talking about random categories like what was the Zeitgeist game, which is the defining game of the moment of the year, or what is a game that is just really cool, capital C cool, or where are they now? Where are the games that we thought we might see this year that haven't arrived? Those are the kinds of things we're going to be getting from this episode. We're going to bring our own picks to it or work off a combined list, sometimes deliberate, sometimes come with our own picks, come up with our own, and then these are the MiniMap. They can't keep getting away with this award for 2022. Congratulations, no doubt, to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But we'll see. We'll find out when we get there. So that's what you're in for this episode. Our next episode that we're recording immediately after this, that will probably be in your feed by the time you're listening to this, is our Game of the Year topic. And that will be our individual sort of like top fives and also like best game we played this year that wasn't released this year and games we wish we got to and all of that and what makes them so special to us and that kind of traditional Game of the Year discussion. So that's what you have to look forward to today. Let's get into the rigmarole and get these awards, quote unquote, started. If you're new here, welcome. This is the MiniMapCast. This is minimap.com.au's weekly games podcast. You can catch us every Tuesday on any podcast platform of your choice, or you can watch us on Twitch as we record the show live, like a number of people are doing so right now, like Tom and Jet. If you like what you're hearing, please give the show a positive rating wherever you're listening to us or watching us. Be that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Twitch or YouTube, wherever you're finding us, a positive rating goes a long way and helps us out a lot. And if you want to chime in, hang out on chat while we record the show live, you can find us every Monday afternoon/evening, 5:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time at twitch.tv/minimapau. We chat with the chat between shows in this case, but also before and after them. It's a really good time. We might even have some people chime in with their own ideas if they've got them for categories like Best Elden Ring Noun, which is coming up. Our other socials that aren't Twitch, we also have Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube and Instagram accounts, all at MiniMapAU, as well as Twitch. I'm not going to mention it because the service is back. We're also on Hive, so you can find us on Hive at MiniMap. Hard to say if we'll have stuff there because it's hard to log in and log out, but we're there and the service is back, and you can find me there because it's my favorite place to be when I'm on my phone right now, at KJ Palmer. There's a little plug there. When you hang out on our socials, you can find out when our episodes go live, what the topics were each week. Last week was all about the Game Awards. We discussed the awards themselves. We discussed the announcements. We discussed like the format of the show in general and how we feel about it and how it's kind of at odds with itself. It's a good discussion. And and next week, the next episode is going to be the Game of the Year discussion, like I said before. We wanted to say thank you to Shook for letting us use the Moog Model D Improv as the music for the MiniMapCast. You can listen to more of Shook's music at shook.bandcamp.com. And lastly, if you wanted to support us monetarily to help keep the lights and mics on, you could throw $5 our way and become one of our patrons. It helps us to continue to do this. You can ask us questions to answer on the podcast, and it's as cheap as a latte with oat milk. You can do that by going to patreon.com/minimapau. And just one last final bit of housekeeping here. Just going to say, after these two Game of the Year episodes, we are taking a bit of a summer break, heading into Christmas and into the new year. We're not quite sure when we'll be back, but we'll probably have 2 to 3 weeks off in January at least, potentially one more. That's what the plan is right now. So stay up to date on those socials to know when we're going live next year. But for right now, you're getting a Game of the Year doozy. So let's get into it.
Game of the Year doozy.
Doozy, you like doozy?
Yeah, sure.
Watch out for that Game of the Year discussion. It's a doozy. It's a prescient Groundhog Day reference there for you.
Yeah, sure is.
What a movie.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh,
I don't love it. I think it's good, but I don't love it.
How young were you when you watched that movie?
Oh, like 7?
Oh,
What?
you're breaking my heart. That was one of those movies I saw when I was younger, and I was like, I think I love this. This is so clever and cool. Like, you know what I mean? And it was one of those ones where I had it, so I watched it on repeat. That's just what I did with media when I was younger.
Yeah.
I did it with like Aladdin. I did it
right.
with like with Scrubs. I did it with there was this. I don't know. We're not going into that. I can talk about that in the break. Let's talk about these silly topics. How do you want to start, Jeremy?
Let's just go down the list.
Oh,
I made a thing while you were doing the intro.
Is that a dig at how long I was taking?
No, that's oh fuck, I better get this together real quick.
Fair enough. I like it. So is this going to be like the winners on the right in these blank spaces?
Yes.
You're so notion pilled. Look at you.
I know, it's good, isn't it? It's so good.
Okay, so up on the screen, audio listeners, Jeremy's brought up a list of all the categories, and we're going to be deliberating them one by one.
Yeah.
And the winners of each category are going to go into the empty fields beside them. And do you want to do it in this order? Is this the order you'd like to do it in?
Yes, because that's the order that I wrote it in.
Okay, let me just check what's at the bottom, whether it's gonna.
I think the bottom works.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeremy, I have one change.
Okay.
I kind of want to start with best Elden Ring noun.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can do that.
So let's start with that. Oh, but Jeremy, you could just grab the dots.
Yeah, but there's a whole thing. Let's just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
You might be notion pilled, but boy howdy, is it a workaround?
Yeah.
So this is just a silly one to get us started. There's so many nouns in George R.R. Martin and FromSoft's Elden Ring.
I keep forgetting that he's fucking like a part of that game, because I remember when that was announced, that was like such like a big thing for that game. Oh my god, like George R.R. Martin.
I sincerely think it's why the game was so popular.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I know it was going to sell millions and millions, but I think it's why it was so popular.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because that was a big part of the like years long hype. So yes, but this award is going to go to best Elden Ring noun. We've got 3 each. We'll bring in our 3 and then try and figure out which ones are our favorite from the ones we've brought in.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I'd like you to start.
Cool. I might just should we say all 3 or how do you want to do it?
I was gonna say one, then one, then one, then one, then one, then one.
All right, cool. All right. My number one. Well, one of my these are not in any particular order.
The first one.
Yeah. Is I like the noun full grown.
Full grown.
Full grown. I think that's really funny. It's a prefix to a bunch of characters. But there's full grown falling star beast, for example.
Oh yes.
But just full grown as a thing that you want to talk about a character about. I think that's really good. Full grown.
That's fair enough.
Full hyphen grown.
You say that like that, and I'm like, I don't know. That seems like a pretty just like English word,
But if you were to you could include it to many things, right? If you wanted to write, full grown mace or something.
Yeah, that's true. And it also
full grown bloody finger.
It also makes me think of like that sort of cycle of gestation, you know what I mean? Of like creatures growing.
Yeah.
They've got their baby creatures and they've got their full grown creatures. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The first one I wrote down on my list is a character name.
Yeah.
Which I remember seeing the first time when I was trying to figure out a certain side quest.
Mm-hmm.
And the name is Blackguard Big Boggart.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah. That is quite good. That is quite good.
Like, it's not really anything that special.
Yeah.
But when I saw it the first time, it captivated me a little bit. I just saw it, I was like, Blackguard Big Boggart. Do I call you Boggart? Do I call you Big Boggart?
Yeah,
do I call you Blackguard?
Yeah, right. That's good alliteration on that one.
Yeah, it is good alliteration.
Because you got the 3 B's, right? But you've also got a BG and then B and then B with a little mini G in between.
Blackguard Big Boggart.
Yeah.
It's he's this guy who's really smarmy. He like steals something. That's when you find him the first time. You're like, hey, can I get this thing back that you stole? And he's like, yeah, if you give me like 3,000 runes or like 1,000 runes or something, and you do, he's like, all right, fair enough. Do you want some shrimp? I'm like, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll buy some shrimp.
Yeah.
He's a rough ruffian, but like he pretty quickly turns into just like, oh yeah, you're tarnished, you're not so bad.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
My next one is Magma Whip Candlestick. I think that's really fun. I think there's a good little rhyming going along with that one. I have no, like, if you had asked me to describe a magma whip candlestick, I don't really know what I would draw, let alone describe.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that could be, and I don't know what they are at all. But I think that's a good series of nouns.
Yep. I have heard of this. It's like there's not that many whips in the game.
No,
and this is one of the few ones that is like elemental and is like special and interesting. This is a fire whip. But
fun.
Why it would be that you look at it, it really just does look like a candlestick. Why is this a whip?
Yeah, right. That's fun.
Rewarded by patches.
Ah, of course. Old mate.
Don't you know?
All right.
My second one on this list is an optional boss in one of the very difficult areas in Crumbling Farum Azula.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Dragon Lord Placidusax.
Okay, you're going to have to spell that one for me.
If you need me to spell that out, that's fine. So Dragon Lord, one word, and then Placididu.
Oh, Placididu.
Sax. Placidusax.
I'll be honest, Kerry.
Or Placidusax.
I'll be honest, Kerry. I don't think that's a very good noun.
What do you mean that's not a good noun?
We'll deliberate on it, but I'm not a fan of the noun Placidusax.
It's a name. What's wrong with that?
Don't think it's a good one.
You don't think it's good?
I don't think that's a good name.
That's so funny.
I don't know what that.
What?
I don't know what that means.
It doesn't mean anything. It's a name.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
That's another one. When I saw the health boss bar, I was like, "What does that say?"
Yeah.
I close my eyes and squint.
Yes. All right. My final one.
Mm-hmm.
Sight of Grace.
Okay.
I think that works so thematically. What?
I'd like to. No, I finish your reasoning. I have a rebuttal, but I'd like you to continue.
Okay.
I'd like to hear your.
I think thematically it works really well. You know, it is the bonfire, right? It is the light in the Dark Souls is a bonfire. In this,
but in Elden Ring, which is all about the grace of the Erd Tree,
but also like peace, right? Being able to sit and be safe, be comfortable, not be attacked.
Yeah,
safe spaces in a world of hell. I think it being a place of grace works very well.
I think that's fair. I think the noun is quite ordinary in terms of its nounness.
On
but
its
the
own,
places
sure.
are quite nice.
Sure, on its own, yeah. But I think thematically, I quite like that as a thing. But you're right. Okay. As a noun, it's pretty plain.
I've got my most plain option here is my third pick, and this is one based on my character and what I had, and sort of like the first thing we saw when the beta came out. My third pick here is Land Octopus.
Land Octopus was on my short list. Was on my short list.
I remember Land Octopus not only because it's one of the first enemies you find in Limgrave, and it's fucking strange. And I remember you sent me that tweet when the beta was happening, or the closed beta, and it was like, oh wow, they just put Bloodborne in this, and it's just this massive tentacles. It's like if you got Tangela, the Pokemon, and turned it into like a Bloodborne or Elden Ring monster, this is exactly what it would be.
So they have almost those exact things in Bloodborne, which is why I brought it up. When you go to the forest in Bloodborne, there are masses of snakes that look like that.
They're like snake bundles.
Snake balls. Yeah, they are just writhing, multi-headed, big just spheres of serpent, which is quite cool.
I also have a particular fondness for the land octopus because I got a pretty rare helmet from defeating one of the land octopuses, which is a land octopus head on my PC save. And then I had to go to the Xbox save and I had to get it again. And it took me like an hour of grinding, but I got it. And you better believe that I was wearing that helmet in every video that I put up for the walkthrough on IGN, which was so funny when the Game of the Year video came out this year and they were filling it with walkthrough content. And I'm like, here's my footage pre-Land Octopus. Here's my footage post-Land Octopus.
That's very good.
It's so funny.
All right, let's whittle this down a little bit.
Definitely.
I want to get rid of Dragon Lord this one.
Can I ask why you don't like it?
I think just because Placid, whatever, is it's just a name, right? It's just like Paarthurnax in Skyrim. Like I like okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I like it from like a nerdy kind of word perspective. It just like, look at these syllables go together.
Yeah, it's a fun like phonetic word, but as a noun, it's not really doing a whole lot for me.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I'll concede. I take umbrage with Sight of Grace.
Okay.
Especially because you refused to call it that when you were actually playing the game.
Well, yeah, I was calling it everything but. I mean, to be fair,
everything but a Sight of Grace. You explicitly refused to call it a Sight of Grace.
Yeah. I also refuse to call every noun in Elden Ring what they are actually called. Even words that I was like, for a while I thought that the system was called damage negotiation because I wasn't reading negation correctly.
That's funny.
I think I'm gonna get rid of Land Octopus. It's good.
Oh, okay.
But it's two regular words.
I understand. I feel quite similarly with Full Grown, if I'm being honest.
All right. We're in the
like you could say that to me and I won't think of Elden Ring.
Yeah. Sure.
So that leaves us with Blackguard, Big Boggart, and Magma Whip Candlestick.
They're both good.
They're really good. They've got the alliteration. They're quite singular. They're quite unique.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you leaning, Jeremy?
I could go either way. I'm really happy with either of them, honestly. I think Blackguard, Big Boggart. I don't particularly know what a Big Boggart is.
No.
Is it like Humphrey?
I think it's literally his name.
Bogart.
Well, it's 2 G's. It's 2 G's.
Oh, sorry, 2 G's. Boggart. Right.
Boggart.
Magma Whip Candlestick, I think, is fun. It's like a nursery rhyme. It's Jack jumped over the Magma Whip Candlestick, right? But like
exactly.
I think I might prefer that over Blackguard, Big Bogart, only because Blackguard sounds quite regular Dark Souls. Big Bogart is good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's a candlestick, though?
Well, how often?
I couldn't look at that name and tell you it was a weapon.
Yeah, how good. Look, if you want the best Elden Ring noun to be Blackguard, Big Bogart, Big Boggart, I will not complain. I'm happy to give it.
I think I am going to stump for it. I think because I want something in here that is like unique to Elden Ring.
Sure.
Like I could separate magma and whip and candlestick as words, and they'd all just be words.
Sure.
And I like this because it's just that it's got that Elden Ring flavor.
There we go.
Congratulations, Blackguard, Big Boggart.
You are
you win the award for Best Elden Ring Noun 2022.
Yeah.
All right. So
Up next. The best I can't believe this game came out this year game.
So this can mean a couple of things. We're discussing this before the show. This could mean I can't believe a game of this quality came out this year. I can't believe this game came out this year. It's been so long, I forgot it even came out this year, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Or even just I can't believe this game came out this year.
Yeah, and let's be quite honest. This is quite a negative award. This game is not going to go to. So this award is not going to go to Elden Ring. I mean, like, oh my god, I can't believe this game came out this year. It's going to be like, fuck, I can't believe this game came out this year.
Yeah, it is, unfortunately. And just a preface out there, we know you game developers work hard and care a lot about the work you do. We've been there. We see you. We're not trying to trash your work.
Oh yeah. A lot of the awards are gonna go to. This is more of a publisher award in a way. Like,
I guess so,
like,
yeah.
You know, if we were doing physical awards, which hey, let's do that next year. You know, if we were to give this to a game that I like, one of my finalists was Babylon's Fall, right? I would give this to Square Enix,
right? Rather than Platinum, because it is their fault the game turned out as poorly as it did.
Yeah. And the reason that game was already dead, or it will be dead soon. So yeah. All right, Kerry.
Fair enough.
What do you got?
All right, I've got a few here. I've got Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
But in a way of like, I can't believe it. This game was even this year. Like it literally has been 11 months since that game came out.
Yeah.
We've got Saints Row.
Saints Row is one of my two.
Yeah. And the last one I've got is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I can't believe they released this game like this in the state that it was in.
Yeah.
Like this game needed another 6 to 8 to 12 to 24 weeks in development to squash all of this stuff. And it didn't get it. And I can't believe it came out this year.
Yeah, that's fair. I treated this award more as like, if you had told me this game came out this year, I would have tried to correct you.
Yeah.
Which is why I think I'm going to give this award to Ghostwire Tokyo. Because if you had asked me what year this game came out in, I would have said 2021. I do not know why, but this game does not feel like a game that released this year.
Yeah.
It came out after Stranger of Paradise.
Yep.
Came out
after Sifu.
After Sifu. When it come out after Arceus?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. Like, you know, but for some reason this game came out last year. And I unfortunately I cannot give you any more information than that.
Yep, 100%.
So my second was Saints Row, just because I feel like I just forgot that game came out completely.
Yeah, for sure. Saints Row is a weird one this year, man. Really strange.
And I remember
because
I could have gone to that event that they were hosting, and I didn't, and like that would have probably made me remember it more, but like I didn't, and so it doesn't.
Yeah, that would have only been what, like 5 months ago.
Something like that. Yeah.
It came out like 3 or 4.
What's yours, Kerry?
Like, what's my pick?
Yeah, we're not deliberating this one, are we?
I don't think so. No. What did we say? We said, I can't believe this game came out this year. Where is it? Yeah, we didn't really even decide. Mine's going to be Scarlet and Violet. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it came out.
Yeah. And mine is Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo. That's funny. It's like how when we were in the break, I was like, oh yeah, that asymmetrical Dragon Ball game came out.
Yeah.
And you were like, did it?
Yep.
So next on the list is best pivot to open world, which is interesting because it turns out there's a number of games that did that this year.
Yeah, do you want to go through that list real quick?
Yeah, sure. So did we write it down here? I think we did. Best games that pivoted to open world that we wrote down before. We've got Elden Ring, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon Scarlet/Violet, and Sonic Frontiers. It's funny, isn't it? I mean,
I think we need to scratch.
I was just thinking when I said Pokemon, I was like, it's kind of been open world for a long time, but not in the way that it is.
And Arceus isn't even.
Really?
Arceus is more like Monster Hunter.
Arceus is a bigger pivot to like real time, I guess, is its thing.
Yeah, but you don't go in between zones. You always go back to home base. It's level based.
Yeah.
Whereas,
by that same token, Jeremy, Sonic Frontiers is the same. That's like 5 zones, not one contiguous world. But I would definitely say it's open world gameplay.
Right, but can you travel in between the various zones in Sonic Frontiers? Like, you don't have to go back to a hub.
No, but I think you have to like just do it from a map. I think you just have to press like zone 2.
I think that's.
I don't think you go to like the edge of the world.
To me, I think that's still okay.
I don't. If we're allowing Sonic Frontiers, I think we have to keep Arceus.
Okay.
Because they're functionally, I think they're pretty similar.
And we can include as open world undertones.
Yeah. The thing that gets me is like, well, no, Scarlet and Violet really were pivoting to open world because it was like an open structure. It wasn't that same like this gym, then this gym, then this gym. You can't get past this gate because you don't have fly yet because you didn't get to here. Like, I know they were starting to mess around with that, but this is the really like, there's 3 different kinds of things to do. You can go anywhere on the map.
Yeah.
You can go there at any time. Like that needs to be, that deserves its spot here.
Yeah. It's actually my pick.
Yeah, Scarlet and Violet?
Yeah. And it's a shame because I keep thinking about the game and I don't know when I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
But
your pick for best pivot to open world is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
And it's edging out Elden Ring for me only just.
So that's the thing. I think Elden Ring is my personal pick because it's such a well executed world. Plenty of games have tried to evoke the exploration and that feeling of discovery that you get from Breath of the Wild since 2017. And I think this is the first game to properly do it since then.
Sure.
To make so many things worth going to, no matter where you're going. To make everything like, oh, there's ruins over there. What's over there? Oh, there's actually something here. Oh, there's a boss here. Oh, there's a hidden wall. There's a chest. There's new enemies I've never seen before. Or I fought these enemies ages ago and I could take them out now because I'm stronger. Or the well into Siofra River well. And like, I don't know. That's hard because I think they've both been really, really well received in terms of like discourse and public reception.
And I think for me, the thing is that the Elden Ring style, Breath of the Wild style open world is not the thing that I love.
It isn't.
I need more than that. While I appreciate and can revel in its beauty, I don't particularly.
It's not for you.
I don't particularly enjoy it as a gameplay.
Yeah.
Moment.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
It's hard.
I think I would put this. I feel like having seen Elden Ring, I don't think. Like we were quite impressed with how they did it.
This also doesn't have to be a
feel like
combined
it's
award.
that much of a like a design leap anymore, you know? Because I feel like they took the bones of Dark Souls and they put an open world skin on it. Whereas I feel like they had to really redesign some of the core design elements of Pokemon to make it as open as it is.
Yeah, I think yes. I think Elden Ring still had to do a lot of redesigning with
100%.
Like with instances and having the mount, for example. They've never had to consider that really, and then that
and guiding players,
and then that
inside of a non-linear space,
mounted combat. I'm happy to actually give it to Elden Ring only because I think they did more more technically impressive open world things, whereas Pokemon made a Pokemon game without the walls. And structurally and narratively, like there was reason to have the 3 stories going at the same, like, and going at different moments, and you can do what you want, and all this stuff is good fun. But there is still issues with entering and leaving combat being like just kind of funky,
right? A bit instanced.
Yes and no,
like a little bit.
Yeah. And there were things that were done better in Arceus that were not included in this, in terms of the open world feeling nature of it, making things feel less instant, all that stuff. So I think I'm happy to give it to Elden Ring.
Okay, I'm down with that. I think they executed very well on their vision.
Yeah.
All right, best pivot to open world goes to Elden Ring for 2022 amidst a sea of other open world contenders. Next up, we have Zeitgeist. Defining moment. What do we write? Defining game of the moment. This is the award to sort of nip in the bud the whole like, oh, but people spoke about this one the most, right? And how that doesn't necessarily make a game the best.
Yeah, like what game represents this year the most?
Yeah, totally. Like when you think of 2022, what is the game that you're going to think back to? When I think back to 2017, I think back to Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. When I think back to 2018, I think of Spider-Man and God of War, like those kinds of things. Like Spider-Man didn't really win that many awards in comparison to others at the big shows, but
yeah,
it was a moment.
Yeah. Elden
There's
Ring.
one answer to this.
It is Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
It is Elden Ring.
It's Elden Ring.
Yeah.
It was, not only was it a huge success and a huge moment, not only were so many people talking about it and so many people who had never played this type of game before, but it went for weeks. Like, this was a long moment. And it was all positive.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. In terms of, it was overall overwhelmingly positive. You know, there were things that, like, there were issues with that game. We both know what they are. Like, you know, multiplayer is still pretty fucking shit in this, but everybody was playing it.
Yep. Everybody was sharing their discoveries, sharing their dumb deaths that they shouldn't have happened.
Yep.
Like being like, have you ever seen this kind of creature before? Look what it just did to me. Like,
yeah.
Or talking about, oh, you finally got to that boss. What did you think? And they're like, he does this.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Elden Ring.
It is Elden Ring.
The answer is Elden Ring.
I'm sorry.
It is.
I'm sorry if anyone disagrees.
And like, I don't think anyone will. Right? Like, there are big games that came out this year, but none of them were this.
I agree. Even God of War, like, people were playing it, but it wasn't like, it wasn't being discussed that much.
No.
All right. Next on the list, we have
the best game to play on the Steam Deck. If I had one. Kerry, what game do you want to play on the Steam Deck?
Man, I would love to play Vampire Survivors not on my phone and on a dedicated device.
It's on the Switch.
No, it's not. Shut the fuck up.
I'm pretty sure it's... Oh, no, not yet.
I knew it. I
think I imagined
shook
that.
my faith, but I knew deep down. I knew it.
Almost fed you of something incorrect.
You almost did. That was one when people started getting their Steam Decks like overseas. That people were like, "Oh man, I've been playing so much Vampire Survivors." It's like, I'd love to play Vampire Survivors in bed.
I know like 5 people that got a Steam Deck in the past like month.
Yeah.
Fucking so many people have imported it recently, and I'm like, oh, I want to play it again. I played it at PAX. I want to play more.
Jeremy, what's if you were to get a Steam Deck, what would be the best game to play on it?
Death Stranding.
Oh.
I would.
Can you remind me and the people listening what your like clock, what your like your how much you played it on PS4?
So here's the thing. I played, let's say, a solid 6 hours on PS4, maybe 8. 6 to 8 hours on PS4.
Okay.
I then got up to the exact same moment on PC.
Oh, you did it all again?
Did it all again on PC. Up to the exact same moment, about 6 to 8 hours. Maybe a little bit less because I was better at it on PC. And then I did it all again on PS5. With the
You're kidding me. You played the opening of that game 3 times?
Played the opening of that game 3 times. I quite like the opening.
And then what happens? What happens, Jeremy?
And then something has come up and I don't go back because another game comes out.
Right. Wow.
But similar to playing Disco Elysium on the television, I know I would play that game on a handheld device, on a dedicated handheld device.
Yeah.
I think
I've heard that from Blessing this year. Kind of funny too. I think he did the same.
I feel like that would be the way to play it for me. I would be more immersed. It would feel cozier. It would feel warmer to play it.
Yeah, and like you've got the tasks that you have to, like the deliveries are like pretty discrete tasks that you have to do.
Yeah, I can do one, close the game.
Yeah.
Load it up quick on the thing. I'm on the bus to work.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on a train into the city or something, right? Like I play it on my little screen.
On my little screen.
My little Death Stranding.
I think that's the answer.
I don't think this was a combined award, was it?
Doesn't have to be.
This was one each.
It's more like we wrote it and we just love the idea of if I had one.
Yeah.
You can get one.
Yeah,
if you
I know.
Spend a lot of money.
Look, I need to get a new phone before I can cop a Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's so much money for like a PC that can't run things as well as your PC probably could.
Yeah, like I feel like, but like I don't need it to be at a super high resolution on this thing, right? Like, you know, like I can run it at a 720p on this screen, and I'm sure it would look good.
Yeah, that's the thing. It just depends if you want 60 frames per second each time or not, because that's not always possible.
Yeah, like Elden Ring, I think runs at a good 40. I think is what everyone is hitting, which is like that's good and impressive that it's that little, and hitting 40. But
yeah, for sure. The next category is it's got a few names. It's this game can hang, capital C cool, this game fucks.
Yeah.
Inspired by the likes of Doom, I would say. I remember when you and June both played at the PAX that year, 2019, for Doom Eternal, and you were just like, Doom fucks.
Yeah, Doom fucks. Yeah, Doom Eternal fucks. Doom Eternal still fucks, by the way. Nothing has changed.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It's good. I'm glad to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, and this award was semi-inspired by an old Giant Bomb bit where they had a this game can hang category, where they were like, this game is not game of the year, but like it was cool. I have one game I wrote down for this.
I have one game that I wrote down too.
It is Neon White.
Neon White?
It is Neon White.
Yes, it is, Jeremy.
Neon White is the answer.
It is the answer. That game is so cool.
This game
so stylish, man.
It is so, the music fucking is pumping and energetic, and
and like this game fucks doesn't have to mean sexy, but also the game is sexy.
But also the game is sexy. This is the thing, right? It is like this game is horny.
Yep.
And stylish and charismatic, while also being so fucking tight in the controls, right? Like this game is so refined. I'll have more to say about Neon White in my Game of the Year episode, but like, This game is a capital C cool game.
100%. You can't go past it. The music as well. Like, I don't normally like that music, but it meshes with the style of what Ben was going for with the game so well.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's amazing. And can you imagine it's the follow-up to Donut? Well, it's not the follow-up, but it's the next game after Donut County. Like,
yeah, right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Neon White fucks everyone. You're on notice. If you weren't aware, Neon White fucks.
There's a couple of people that we know that that have recently started playing Neon White just before their own Game of the Year deliberations. And every time I see on Twitter someone starting it, like I'm just like replying with like the most hype like gifs and we're like I'm so excited for more people to play that game.
100%.
All right, we got the Where Are They Now award.
Where Are They Now award?
So this award goes to like anything that we just like, where the fuck is this? Like it's been a while. Maybe we don't know what's happening with it. Might be a game, might be a studio, might be a thing that was announced.
Jeremy, I have a question.
Yeah.
Where does this sit in terms of our other category we have coming up, which is Best 2022 Game Delay, which is hilarious.
This one doesn't necessarily mean a game that has been delayed.
Okay, so there might be some crossover.
Yeah. There might be a little bit.
But it might just be games that are rumored and not officially delayed.
Yeah, or games that are not even announced.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the games that I had on the list, which I'm not putting forward as mine, is like the Metroid Zelda collections that have been forever rumored that have not been announced.
Yeah. Do we want to go through the list as sort of like a check-in, as sort of like a?
Yeah. So this is what I initially wrote down as examples for things that like where the fuck are they? Hollow Knight Silk Song, the new Hellblade, Deep Down. I'm gonna be honest. Deep Down and Blue Point are both of mine. They are the ones that I think are because Deep Down got announced in 2013. For those who don't know, at the PlayStation 4 reveal event. This is a thing that I will not die on this hill. Capcom every now and again keep renewing the trademark for this online dungeon-based game that has a really cool like knights fighting dragon with like.
I love the idea that you're so confident in this thing that you're on this hill and you're up there saying, "I will not die here.
I will not die."
Where is Deep Down?
Deep Down, Capcom, Kamiya. I know you're watching, Kamiya. Block me on Twitter if Deep Down is cancelled.
You won't.
You won't. Blue Point, Advance Wars 1 and 2, Last of Us Part 2 Next Gen / Factions, Abandoned by Blue Box.
The Blue Box.
The game that
Kojima,
is
but not Kojima thing.
Yeah, a game that does not exist.
Beyond
Good and Evil 2, Zelda and Metroid Remasters, Vampire the Masquerade 2, Bloodlines, and the KOTOR remake.
Yeah. All things like, where are they?
Yeah, where are they now? Mine is Deep Down. As it always is, mine is Deep Down.
Yours is Deep Down. What do you mean?
Mine is Deep Down.
If I had to pick one from this list, honestly, I'm always curious about what's happening. Why The Last of Us Part 2 isn't on PlayStation Plus extra.
Specifically not where Factions is and not Next Gen, but specifically like why it's not on their dinky
honestly
service.
Yeah, because they patched it for PS5. It's like such a slam dunk for them to just have it on there to showcase the console. Like, where the fuck is it? They don't sell it for very much anymore. It was on sale for $15 for Christmas. Where the fuck is it?
That's so funny. That's so funny as someone who, as like you own that game. Like,
yeah, no, I know. I don't care. I don't need it.
Yeah, it's also like on PS4, so it's like anyone who wanted to play it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like so cheap at EB Games. If that game's cheap at EB Games, it's cheap everywhere. Where the fuck is it?
That's very funny.
Accidentally riled me up. Jeremy, I'm going to suggest, before we jump into our next topic, I think now's a perfect time to throw it to a quick break.
All right.
And we'll come back with just more of the same. But we're going to have a quickie breaky. Quick break for the MiniMapCast. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the MiniMapCast. If you weren't here live with us on break, we've just come back from talking about how I think I might have broken my hand. That's not true. It just hurts a lot. And other things that I definitely won't be retelling on the podcast. But if you want to hear that kind of stuff, you should join us live each week. We're back to do more of the list with this topic, which I really don't know how to make heads or tails of.
R.I.P. Lizzie, you would have loved. And then a game
Blank.
that came out this year. What game would the Queen have loved if she didn't croak?
What game would the Queen have loved on the year of her death? What did I write down for this? Oh, that's right.
Say the whole thing.
What, for the topic?
Yeah, that's the answer.
Okay, the topic is R.I.P. Elizabeth. You would have loved blank.
Yeah, no, but like say your
rest
answer.
In peace.
No.
Rest in peace, Elizabeth.
No,
you would have loved Pentiment. And I wrote here, everyone, I haven't played this game. I've barely seen anything about this. But what I wrote down from my understanding is that it's like a Middle Ages kind of thing. And I wrote, living out the days of serfdom, a fantasy escape for royalty. To know what it's like to not have everything handed to you.
R.I.P. Lizzie. You would have loved Marvel Snap.
My.
Can you imagine the Queen playing a Marvel game on her phone? How fucking funny was that visual?
Okay, look. Now that's a person who needs as much phone real estate as they need. A discussion from the break. Jeremy's talking about getting a new phone. Someone with old eyes needs big phone, I think.
It's very true. It's very, very true.
One might say, perhaps just get an iPad.
Marvel Snap on iPad, I'm sure it'll be fine. Do you reckon Lizzie had a phone?
I reckon Lizzie had a phone.
But do you reckon she used the phone? Like, do you reckon
I doubt it. I doubt she was sitting there playing Words with friends.
I could see Lizzie being into Wordle.
Like my grandmother does.
She could have done a Wordle.
Yeah, Wordle maybe. Yeah.
Do you reckon? Okay. Do you reckon the Queen has?
They've got such a Ponzi royalty thing to them. I know. So they're gonna have carried forward a lot of traditional stuff from a long time ago.
Well, my question to you is, okay, did the Queen ever Google anything before she died?
I did not anticipate this topic going for more than 60 seconds. I just want that on the record.
Neither did I. Do you reckon the Queen ever Googled anything?
Did the Queen ever Google anything? Definitely.
I don't know, but okay, different. The Queen Googling something is different to the Queen asking someone to Google something for her.
I reckon the Queen probably Googled something for herself.
Do you reckon she went on Google.com?
I reckon the Queen had an iPad, no doubt.
I don't know.
I'm willing to plant my flag in the
Did the Queen have an iPad?
I started this analogy and I don't know where I'm going. I'm willing to plant my flag on this hill to die on, I guess. What? I'm on the moon? What? Where am I, Jeremy?
The Queen has an iPad. Had an iPad.
Yeah, and I've planted my flag in it.
Wow.
No doubt, right? No doubt.
She apparently has been known to tweet from her personal iPad.
Oh, really? The Queen tweeted?
Yeah, there was it was one of those accounts where you never knew if it was or wasn't
but
written.
There was verified a time where she tweeted.
Apparently. According to Cult of Mag.
No doubt she had an iPad.
According to Cult of Mag.
She's a grandmother and a great grandmother. They all have iPads.
She had an iPod, definitely, according to BBC years ago, like in 2005. She bought an iPod in 2005.
Oh, she bought one. Interesting. It's
mean,
funny because they're also
obtained.
Yeah, she went down into the vault and picked up one gold coin the size of your fist. There's. Do you remember the It's the logo for one of the freelance Discords I'm in. It's the gold plated Wii.
Yeah,
from 2007, which was like, was it a gift or I think it was some like brand promotion they made it to give to the royal family. It was a gold plated Wii.
It was weird. It was very weird.
Very strange. It's in a collector's collection now.
Right.
Somewhere in the UK or Europe somewhere.
I see.
You can go to the excellent YouTube channel People Make Games to find a video where they interview the person who has it.
Oh, good.
That channel's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, our channel's great too. Let's keep going on with this thing we're making.
It's now time for they can't keep getting away with this award.
They can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah.
Now, what do we say we were doing with this one? What are we bringing to it with this one? This is a deliberation.
Yes. So the award is giving the award to something or someone or just a party in general about. Sorry, my partner made a direct eye contact with me as I was talking and just threw me completely.
I thought you were going to say that they gave you they flipped you off or something.
No. Giving this award to a reoccurring instance of something that they shouldn't be able to get away with and yet do.
Yes, 100%.
To a
stuff that keeps
publisher,
happening.
Yeah, it just continuously happens.
Do you want to go one, then one, then one, then one, then one?
Well, I've only got two.
Okay, you go.
And some of them are shared. I know for a fact.
I'm sure we're going to double up.
Pokemon, we know, is a big one, right? They continuously release unfinished, ugly games that just perform terribly on the consoles they're released on.
They're not up to standard.
No. I honestly don't. Look, I know how they pass certification, and it's because the fucking company that owns a third of them owns the platform, right?
Yeah.
Because they know if they say no, then they're saying goodbye to the fastest selling console game of all time.
I was just about to bring that up. What was it? Pokemon Scarlet and Violet sales.
It's the fastest selling first party game of all time. Or something like that.
Like what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. 10 million copies in its first 3 days when it got a 6 from IGN. What? Not that they're the be all end all, but just as one single metric. I'm just saying, this wasn't an Elden Ring. This wasn't God of War Ragnarok. This wasn't. It was just Pokemon.
Yeah, but just Pokemon is the biggest single intellectual property on the planet.
I guess so. I guess I'm not intellectual enough to understand it.
And we were talking about this a little while ago, on our own friends Discord. But while Disney is the biggest company in the world, the biggest multimedia company across everything they own, they don't own a single one thing that is bigger than Pokemon. Mickey Mouse is not bigger than Pokemon. Star Wars is not bigger than Pokemon. Marvel's not bigger than Pokemon. Altogether, they all are.
Yeah.
But not singular.
Yeah. It's wild. I would never have guessed that. Not that Pokemon isn't huge. It is. But that big is wow. That means it beats out Marvel. It beats out Star Wars. It beats out the individual franchises.
Yes.
All of them. Every single one of them.
Every single one. Bigger than Hello Kitty.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And it's we don't know because they don't really talk about it. But no doubt it's one of the biggest reasons why they keep getting away with this. Because they can just throw money at the problem to get enough done to where it's okay enough to get it out the door.
100%.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I want to be specific here. I was quite happy with Legends Arceus. I know Jeremy you weren't particularly happy with it. You didn't find it particularly ugly. I thought that game could have been more better executed in terms of its art direction and execution, but like it wasn't broken, and
No.
it still looks better than Arceus does in a lot of different ways at times.
Sorry, but better than Soul
better than Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Scarlet and Violet's got a bit more direction, which is cool. Like,
kind of.
But
Like
they've
got different
loads in
directions.
12 polygons at one time. Like,
yeah, like I think as time goes on, I think actually Scarlet Violet looks uglier as the days go by. And Arceus looks
the sheen wears off.
Like I think Arceus is still very ugly, and I hate the style of it, like with a passion. But I think it still does look better.
Yeah,
and that came out a year before.
Yeah. Yep. It's so disappointing. These games could be so much more. They could live up to their title. I mean, they are living up to the title because it's what's got them there. I know, but like, I wish the quality was commensurate with their status.
Since the Pokemon games became 3D, is they started to become bad, badly executed games.
Yeah, Jeremy. That's been more than 9 years since X and Y came out.
Yes, it has been.
They can't keep getting away with this. I think they're going to be our winner for this. But what was your other pick? And I'll give you mine as well.
Sony.
Oh, they weren't on my list, but you're right.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if that's a pick.
Yeah. This year has seen, this year and part of last year, quite a lot of last year, since the PS5.
We're talking about trends.
Yeah, like it's since the Jim Ryan era.
Yeah,
I think is where a lot of this started. We have seen, so like the way I described it in my notes to remember to come back to it is the Sony punishing customers.
Punitive
era.
PlayStation.
Yeah, yes. There's been maybe an air of arrogance, I think is maybe fair to say, around how Sony has been treating themselves. Just a level of like, we are making this.
We are on top.
Like, we are on top. We are making these decisions. These decisions are not you're probably not going to like these decisions. And we
are going to pay for them though.
Yeah, and you have made them. This starts with the increase of price of games to $125.
Yep.
And
the selling of remade games at $125.
The selling of remade games with less in them than the initial. You know, while we talk about The Last of Us Remastered, let's not forget that there is no multiplayer in this Last of Us Remastered.
Yeah.
It is just the story, which, you know, that's where most people are going, but also you're charging more for less.
Yeah.
At this moment. Their subscription service being quite lackluster in a lot of ways. You know, the multiple confusing price points, the lack of any form of backwards compatibility for the PS3 era for regions outside of the streaming availability regions.
Lackluster backwards compatibility for PlayStation 1 and 2 offerings, even though they're quite disappointing.
The conversation around Horizon Forbidden West's upgrade path, and about how it was initially going to be free because it was initially going to be in the launch window, and then the game delayed out of the launch window, and therefore they were going to start charging 15 or 25, whatever it was, dollars to upgrade from the PS4 to the PS5 version, even though they said it was initially going to be free, but it was only going to be free because they're going to be in the launch window. And then they eventually did cave and say, okay, like, we are going to make this one free for anyone who is on a PS4 to upgrade to the PS5 version, but set it in such a but note that this will be the final time this happened. Like, they were telling you off for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They're like, don't expect this again.
Yeah.
Or how about when PS Plus came out, and some people who had stacked up 3 years of PlayStation Plus standard before the upgrade went live, if they wanted to access the new tiers, they had to upgrade their entire 3-year pledge to that tier, or like just not at all. Yeah, which was like
$1,000 or something. Yeah, it was something ridiculous.
So messed up. Like, instead of just saying you've paid us this much, this equates to like your 3 years of PlayStation Standard equates to like 1 year of PlayStation Premium. Instead of doing something simple like that, someone had to go in and code it to say, no, that's not possible. You have to pay us $400 now for you to use the service, or just like not.
Yeah,
it was, and they backtracked it, but it was because someone still had to go in there. Someone made the decision to make it like that before they backtracked it.
Yeah, they're a huge company.
Yeah,
they're responsible.
It's so upsetting, now I don't know what to pick. Mine were not as slam dunk as that compared to PlayStation. The thing I had was like,
what was your other one?
I had a few. Activision Blizzard King continuing to be shit. I'd love it if they could stop getting away with that, but they're going to, and bloody Bobby Kodak's going to fall out of the plane when he finally can on his gold parachute.
Yep.
This isn't me being angry about it, but this is like, can they keep getting away with this? I don't think they can. Is Xbox not releasing anything?
Eventually someone's going to trip and accidentally launch a first-party game.
It's just they had one 4-month stint last year, and then it's like they forgot how to do that again, or like it was like the stars aligned, and we get to look forward to that happening once more in 8 years.
Yeah.
And also like the Switch can't keep getting away with having new games released on it. You know what I mean? Like the Switch is struggling, man.
It is. It really is.
But I don't think those quite hold a candle to Sony's attitude and crappy decision making, plus Pokemon's attitude and crappy decision making. I don't know how to choose a winner though, Jeremy. These are hard. And it's because they feel like they come from a very similar place, right?
Money.
We're here. You want our shit. We've made cool shit, and you're going to pay for it.
Look, I think Pokemon will keep getting away with this.
Right.
And I think that there is at least a lot, like, you know, they're not feeling it yet, Sony, I don't think, because they don't need to be feeling it yet. You know, they are still selling a console that people want to buy, and they can't make enough of them yet. So the pressure is not on them yet from Microsoft.
It's true.
To change. But I think, you know, and like there's you know, people can read the hilarious back and forth between Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan via various news outlets. The war of attrition that has been currently happening between these two companies as Jim flies to various countries around the world to try and get you know, various
like agreements and deals.
Well, just various government entities to try and block the purchase, right?
Right.
Because he flew to Brazil to do that, like at some point.
Sorry, Jim Ryan. Sorry.
I
heard Phil Spencer.
Sorry. Yeah, as Jim Ryan flies to different countries to block the deal. I think when that deal, because it'll be a long time. I think we're not.
Yeah, it's been dealt a blow with this like FTC lawsuit.
I still think it'll go through.
Yeah,
I still think that no one was ready for this deal quick enough to stop it from happening. I think there's already too much momentum behind it. And there's not enough.
I don't know anything about this stuff really in the grand scheme of things, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes through.
Yeah. I think that is when PlayStation will start to feel the heat. Because they will have, you know, like whenever they sign their Call of Duty deal, I'm assuming part of the clause is going to be like no Call of Duty on Game Pass day one. But there will be others. There will be others day one on Game Pass. And it'll stop people from buying it on the PlayStation because they already own it on the Xbox. In air quotations, own it. It's accessible to them. So I don't think Sony can keep getting away with this. Or is that
So that's the question. Like
Yeah.
this phrase, if people who don't know, this is a quote from Breaking Bad. This is when, I don't know, from the last season, and because Walt, the main character, he's been getting away with it for years. Well, or a couple of years in the show, but
Yeah.
he keeps getting away with it. And someone's at their breaking point and they say he can't keep getting away with it because he has just been getting away with it.
Yeah.
And to that end, I feel like Sony's under threat, and Sony's got so much more at stake than Pokemon does because they're releasing $750 consoles. They're buying studios. Like, they're still stuck in this console cycle. And as much as people don't want to talk about the console wars, when people flunk out, they have to scramble and bring back the goodwill of the consumers, which you saw with the release of the PS3 off the back of the PS2, and you saw with the release of the Xbox One off the back of the Xbox 360. We've spoken about it on this show many times.
Yeah.
And PlayStation is always at risk of that happening.
Yes.
I feel like Pokemon is more bulletproof in this situation because while they are huge, I feel like they have less at risk in just releasing one bad game.
Yeah. Pokemon,
in comparison to Xbox or Sony having a bad console launch. Like, that's hundreds of millions of dollars down the drain when that happens.
Yeah. Pokemon are at the top of their game.
Yeah.
They have never been making more
Somehow.
money. Yeah. So I think the award has to go to them.
I think so too. Yeah. Pokemon. That topic was a good discussion and a good sort of like, you know, where we're at in the industry. Because I like these topics for sort of like grounding us in what the year has been and what it is like and what to sort of expect from companies going forward and all of that. But that discussion quietly depressed me a good bit. Up next. No, we don't know what this means. Up next is Best 2022 Game Delay.
I know what this means because I think I have an answer, and I think I might say the answer, and you can tell me if there's any better game delay this year.
Please tell me what the best delay was. Highest quality delay in the West.
I just want to quickly grab just a headline.
Oh yeah, you're getting an asset. You're going back to make sure you got the stuff.
Dead Island 2 has been delayed to April 2023.
Okay.
I think
yes, I remember that.
That is hilarious. Specifically,
100%.
Dead Island 2, while was initially meant to launch early next year, there's a delay that happened in this year. That game was announced. When was that game announced?
No, I like 7 years ago, maybe.
A long time ago. Quite a long time ago.
I'm looking it up.
And then Dead Silent.
Dead Island 2 went dead silent.
Yeah.
1.
For ages, right? You know, like, and I think Deep Silver, like, I think part of that was like there was this because the parent company is now PlayOn, and before that was like.
Well, remember, this was being made before THQ Nordic shut down, and then they got re-picked up.
Yeah. Like it's changed owners quite a few times.
Yeah. It was announced in 2014.
Right.
The changing development studios twice.
There you go. And so it finally comes back. They said for a long time, Dead Island 2, it's not dead.
Yeah. We got gameplay. We got a release date. We got box art.
Yeah.
Platforms.
Yeah. And then they announced that it's back. And it's coming in February of 2023.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
And then they said, actually, it's going to come in April of 2023.
Actually,
to the point that when Deep Silver, like when they tweeted it, they said, the irony of delaying Dead Island 2 is not lost on us. And like, look.
Which is good. That's fun.
When your game needs a delay, your game needs a delay.
100%.
The Cyberpunk delays were always hilarious. Turns out that game needed more delays, but the Cyberpunk delays became a meme. You know, the yellow image with the black text was a thing.
It was, and also the effects of them not delaying their game and releasing a crappy product. The effect of that was felt throughout the industry.
Of course.
The Polygon article I pulled that date from is titled Dead Island 2 Dev Delays the Game Once More for Old Time's Sake.
Yeah, exactly. It is so funny.
It's so funny. Jeremy, I have a similar one in that camp. Are you ready for a similar one?
I would love to hear it.
Skull and Bones.
That is also a very good one.
Very good one, right? Coming off the back of Black Flag in 2013, they wanted to make a single-player pirate game because everyone loved the ship combat. And this game has been shown and vanished and shown again and vanished and come back. And then we got a date and we got box art and gameplay and a trailer. And the release date was for this year. And then you went to a thing. You went to something. You went to a presentation for this game.
Yeah. We did, and that was fun, and everybody there joked about, is the game going to get delayed again, including those Ubisoft reps.
Yep. Turns out,
nope.
Yep.
No, it had already been delayed by that point.
Oh, it had already been delayed.
The delay had already happened by that point.
I didn't. Okay, I misunderstood that one.
Yeah.
So funny though. That's another game where it's like, well, who knows what this is going to be like. I'm quite interested in Dead Island 2.
Are you?
As someone who's never played Dead Island or Dying Light, but Skull and Bones just feel like it's been cursed from the get-go because they're like, oh, this is a great idea, and then they got into it and they were like, oh, we haven't made this fun yet, and maybe don't know how to.
I don't think that this game is going to be very good when it comes out.
Yeah.
Who do we want to give it to? They're both good.
Yeah, Skull and Bones was scheduled for this year though.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true. We can give it a Skull and Bones.
And I have one more.
Yeah.
That I feel like well, no, actually, a few I'll just mention and we'll move on. Metal Slug Tactics.
A lot of games got delayed this year.
That's true. A lot. Metal Slug Tactics I'm bringing up because they posted a cool image when they delayed it, and Metal Slug is cool. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It had a 2022 release window, but yeah, right. Advance Wars Reboot Camp. That one is strange and mired in real world events.
Yeah.
And then we have the Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Oh, yeah, right.
Which got delayed out of August into 2023.
I think Lord of the Rings Gollum and Skull and Bones have both been calling themselves quadruple A games, and neither of them have been able to release.
Yeah, right. And then we also have Starfield, which came out with a release date 18 months before it, and in like the middle of 2021. And then they just missed it, and we don't have one back yet.
That was expected. The moment they announced the release date so far away, you look at that, you're like, you're not going to hit that.
I mean, that was the one time I saw it, and it was so far away. I was like, that's so far away. They must be able to hit that, which is naive in retrospect. But like,
that being said,
who puts a release date out that far away? No one does that.
That being said, they hit their Fallout 4 release date. So like, there was a little bit of reason to believe that they would have made it.
Yes, that's true. That was only 4 or 5 months away, though.
That was quite close.
So yeah, Skull and Bones, or I would say this goes to Skull and Bones personally.
Okay, I'm happy to give it to Skull and Bones.
Also, something else we didn't mention in Where Are They Now? Where is the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake?
Oh yeah,
that game was meant to come out in 2021. I was working at EB Games, and it was on the shelf with like the date, and then we put on it coming soon, and then we took them off the shelves at some point.
That game had
people asking about that.
That game had collector's editions announced.
Yeah, it was gonna come out, and then anyway. Jeremy, we've made it to the bottom of our list, and while it's not a particularly game focused one, like.
It's all
for
companies,
example,
man. It's all fucking companies doing
companies
weird
and moments.
shit.
It's not best pivot to open world, or I can't believe this game came out this year. It's not a game winning an award necessarily. This is biggest / strangest 2022 moment of the year. Yeah. And so we're talking all kinds of stuff. Jeremy, would you like me to read out the list?
Yeah.
All right. At the top, I'll read this out verbatim. We've got E3 cancelled.
Oh, right. You're doing that list. Right. Okay. Yep.
What list have you got?
Oh, the smaller one that I put together.
Oh, you put it at the bottom of the thing. Oh, I didn't see it because it wasn't in dot points.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, shall I? All right, I'll read out the smaller list. That's a good idea.
E3 being cancelled is very funny, but E3 is back again next year by Reed Pop. So
yeah, no, I
see.
I think I put that in there because I'm like, E3's whatever. E3, E3 doesn't even know what it is anymore.
Yeah.
We'll keep that other list there for like some quick mentions, but the shorter list we've got. Sorry for the runaround, everyone. At the top, starting again, we have Epic bought Bandcamp. I don't even remember that happening.
I know,
what?
Right? And the reason being is because, yeah, right. And this is the thing. Like, I wrote that going, what? That's so fucking strange.
Yeah. Reported by The Guardian, 7th of March, 2022.
And the deal already closed.
Can a video game company save independent music? I doubt it.
Whatever that means.
That's quite strange. I didn't. Wow, I really forgot that. It rings a slight bell. Bandcamp CEO Ethan Diamond framed the deal as a boon for artists, saying that the two US companies shared a vision of building, quote, the most open, artist-friendly ecosystem in the world, unquote. A blog post from Epic underlined the need for, quote, fair and open platforms, unquote, to enable, quote, creators to keep the majority of their hard-earned money.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
The creators
that means.
to keep the majority of their hard-earned money.
Yeah. We just want to take some off the top, though.
We want some. Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah.
I just need who wrote this article? I don't want to skim. I didn't see a byline here. What's up with that? Music, it says.
Right.
Music wrote this article.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's a weird moment, Jeremy.
Yeah. Another one, which is a combination of a bunch, but they all happened within a 3-week period.
Yep.
Take-Two buying Zynga, Sony buying Bungie, and Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard King.
Is that 3 weeks?
Yes.
You're joking me. That is unreal.
3 weeks.
Forgot about all of that.
Because the joke was a couple of like big journalists, I think like Imran Khan and Jason Schreier, I think they were both on leave at the same time.
Oh, that's right.
And they were like, well, nothing bigger can happen now. And then another one happened. And they're like, you must be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, Zynga and Microsoft was interesting. Bungie and Sony was interesting. Sorry, Take-Two and Zynga was interesting. Sony and Bungie was really, really fascinating, considering Bungie has been kind of trying to go on their own since splitting from Activision's deal for Destiny, and they moved away from Microsoft, and then they got acquired by PlayStation. Like looking at that whole through line is quite fascinating.
It's since the beginning of Destiny, they had a pretty good relationship with Sony the entire time. Like Destiny was always the marketed as with extra content for PlayStation platforms, right? Like there was always
That's true. I couldn't help but wonder if that was an Activision publishing deal though, rather than a Destiny, a Bungie driven.
I'm sure it was related. I'm sure it was an Activision thing, but I think that it was a part of it was just like they developed a good relationship, right? I know. It's just that like Bungie has always tried to stay independent despite making some of the best first party IP the industry has ever seen. Yeah, well, like they needed someone to pay to keep the lights on, which I think will be good for them. It'll be very good for Destiny because Destiny has become very expensive, and they have quite an ambitious vision for it. And look, I actually don't think while they were buying Destiny, they're also
That's
buying.
Not why they bought Bungie.
They're also buying their new IP, whatever that is, the thing that's been in development for a little while. True, that's interesting. Yeah, and it was as soon as they were bought, they were announcing massive staffing up, like massive increase. And I think that's what it was for Bungie. It was like, look, we've got
eyes that are bigger than our stomach right now. We need more support to realize our visions.
Yeah.
Of which they have many.
Yes.
Take-Two and Zynga.
Money buying money.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Whatever, one company buying another. But Activision, Blizzard, and Microsoft.
Maybe the biggest piece of news the games industry has ever seen.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever seen. Not only that, it's also been recurrent. It hasn't stopped this whole time. When did that kick off? Let me research that one.
Mid-Jan or mid-Feb.
Yeah, it was early, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember you said that was this year. I was like, no way.
Yeah, it was very early.
January, 18th of January. This is before Arceus came out.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where it's like I remember, like I can remember where I was when I first read that. And I remember when Microsoft bought Bethesda, and that was huge news. That was like, oh my God.
I remember that too. I remember the number, like $7 billion. Whoa, that's a lot of money.
And this just dwarfs it. This just absolutely dwarfs it. And like, it hasn't gone through yet. It hasn't gone through yet.
It's funny because it's the same people. It's funny because it's Microsoft's money.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. And look, like we're gonna see another one of these. I fully believe. I fully believe Square Enix is gonna try and sell itself.
Yeah, I agree. In the next 5 years or something.
Yeah. And look, Ubisoft, who knows? We know the Guillemot family, specifically the last one left.
They were looking at getting it
they fought off of it.
Ready for sale.
They fought off Vivendi, right? But like that was because Vivendi would have been a bad pick for anybody.
Yes.
I can see them going to a Sony and saying, "Hey, let's do some deals."
Mm-hmm.
That was huge.
100%.
Grand Theft Auto 6 being leaked is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Not too long ago, really. A couple months ago.
No, not too long ago. This is one I actually just didn't believe.
Yeah. I remember you not believing it and me trying to say, like, no, like, it seemed pretty real. A lot of debug information.
Yeah, totally. I felt like ignorant afterwards when it was finally put together. But in reality, we've never seen a leak like this in the history of the industry.
No,
Not ever.
And it was happening in real time was the thing that was throwing me, is that there was someone inside of their system taking requests. It was a kid, right? And he fished his way into Rockstar's internal accounts
Slack,
management.
right?
It was a bunch of things. It was Slack. It was
right.
So it was Slack. It was Confluence, which is their internal documentation system, which they would have detailed every system.
Yeah, like the game design documents, like the Bible for the game. Yeah.
Which also included HR information, other quite sensitive information, and like a couple other things as well. Which is how we got videos and how we got GIFs and how we got screenshots and how we got debug information and how we got breakdowns of how different mechanics works and how different systems works and animation tests and all this stuff. Like we got a plethora of information. And it was fascinating because that's such a big deal, but also no one didn't expect a Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out. So it wasn't like, oh my God, Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, it was more just like, oh my God.
This is legitimately Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah, like it was weird to see it in the state that we saw it, but it was also weird.
So early, pre alpha,
like that game is like 5 years away, I reckon.
I'd say more like 2 or 3, but yeah.
So the reason I think it's okay, yeah, maybe. I think they might hit end of this console is the thing.
Yes, I would say so.
Because we also know, like, I think Harper from Polygon now or Kotaku, one of the two. I don't remember quite where they worked anymore. They reported that they were working on like a bunch of things. They're working on like a remaster for Red Dead Redemption 1 and a next gen port for Red Dead Redemption 2. and both of those
and they got
projects,
shelved.
Yeah, they're both shelved, so everybody now works on GTA 6. And you know, like then Rockstar came out saying like, yeah, like hey, look, you've seen what Grand Theft Auto the next one looks like.
Yeah, we didn't really want this to happen, but you have seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a wild day. Because I remember there was all on GTAforums.com, right? Like I was on those forums before they got nuked to oblivion, and I was looking at this stuff because I was out at the time. I was like having dinner with my partner, and my partner's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "You have this is the biggest fucking news."
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that was wild to be able to see that happen live.
Yep, I totally agree.
Two more. Sorry, did you have more to say on that? Or?
No, not really. Not really. I kind of said my bit on it.
Yeah.
These two are capital S strange.
Yeah. These are funny things that happen. First of all, Square Enix, at large, sold all of their Western studios,
which was wild.
To Embracer Group. Embracer then renamed Square Enix Montreal to Onoma.
Yeah, and it seemed like they renamed themselves too. It seemed like quite a like that was their studio decision.
I don't know if you saw the branding behind Onoma.
It was quite bespoke. It was quite different and unique.
It was great. It was really good profile, really good logo treatment, really good font. It was a real, I don't know which graphic designer did that, but holy shit, they did a wonderful job. The
thing is, I know a vague amount from watching Kind of Funny. Greg's now wife used to work at that studio, and like the kinds of stories that didn't hear too much of, but they worked on all of the Go games, all of Lara Croft Go, Hitman Go, Deus Ex Go, and it was an excellent studio that had an excellent work culture by the sounds of it. And they haven't done much in recent years, so I have no idea what we've been doing. We might never find out. But it was great to see them sort of get this. I was excited to see what they might finally come up with under new management or under new oversight.
Yeah, like with someone else signing the check. Like there was a level of yeah. And then 3 months later, they closed the studio.
Yeah.
Just seemingly out of nowhere.
Like, why would you give them the time of day to go through a whole rebrand process to redefine themselves? And obviously they had to, because their studio name was Square Enix Montreal. Like that was just a whole thing. Like they probably had to do that immediately. But like, oh man, I was pretty sad when that news came through.
It was sad because you could tell that they were actually going to try and they had put the time in the company, right? Like they had put effort into making the company better. Even if it is just like a public facing thing, like that's still important. Like it was just it was sad, and you can tell that Embracer did not want it, and it must have been an agreement that like if you want all these studios, you have to have all these as well.
Totally, and I bet it was like you've got 3 months to come up with a pitch or a prototype or something, and then.
And yeah, like not everyone was fired. There was people who were transferred over to their other studios, but like it was a bad thing that happened.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Totally. Yeah, it was no fun at all.
No.
I don't really have the details on this. This one confused me. No, I'm remembering it now. I'm remembering it. Go on, Jeremy.
And finally, Yuji Naka, the creator, one of the creators, but the main creator of Sonic the Hedgehog, was arrested in November for insider trading.
Yeah. What was it? He had information that Sega was partnering with some dragon.
It was Dragon Quest. Yeah.
Oh, Square Enix from his time making Balan Wonderworld, I think.
Something like that. Yeah. Yes.
There was some studio they heard was going to get a contract for a new Dragon Quest game, and so they bought stock in that studio before the deal went live.
Yeah. Which was funny
was-
because at the same time Sonic Frontiers was coming out, and there was just like Sonic is already funny as like a thing, and then having this pop up was just also funny.
There are times in Sonic Frontiers where Sonic's friends are like in a little red kind of bubble, kind of stuck in there, and I saw someone take Yuji Naka's face and put on one of the characters stuck in these little bubbles.
What was funnier is that earlier this month, it happened again.
What?
He was arrested a second time.
What for?
This is according to Wikipedia. Accused of having purchased 144 million yen of shares of the developer A-Team before their game Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier, was announced.
Oh, what? He did it twice?
Did it twice. And this is the thing, right? I remember when this happened, I was like, I think it was the equivalent of like, it was like $10,000 US. Which is like, that's like a lot of money.
Oh, right.
But in insider trading world, like, that's not a lot of money.
No, it's not. It just still is a felony.
Yes. And then this one, I think it was closer to like $80,000 or $90,000. And I'm like, okay, like there's a pattern here. You don't insider trade once for 10K and then get out.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if the idea was like, oh, just do this quietly, too big, and everyone will notice.
Maybe.
Like,
but yeah, it's happened again within the span of 2 months, and it's like,
what a strange thing to do.
Like there's something happening here.
From our large list from before, we've got a couple of bigger things. I just want to quickly point out. Embracer bought Lord of the Rings, which was wild.
Yeah. But it wasn't all the rights. It was like most of the rights, and it was in some
but not the TV show.
Yeah, not the TV show.
The Bayonetta voice actor kerfuffle that happened over 7 or 10 days. That was strange.
Yeah.
Mick Gordon's Medium post a month or two ago.
Yeah.
FIFA and EA split. We're no longer getting EA made FIFA games.
Yeah, we're just getting EA football, right?
Yeah, something like that. They're calling it. I'm not sure because we don't have one yet, so it hasn't cemented itself in there for me.
Watch them like axe the actual game and they just make FIFA Ultimate Team, or like they just call it Ultimate Team. They won't be able to wait.
It'll be UT.
I just remembered FIFA Ultimate Team uses FIFA's stats.
Yeah, right.
They won't have access to those anymore.
That's right.
That's maybe the most interesting part of all.
Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do because FIFA doesn't have that much goodwill.
No, God, no. They are one of the most evil, corrupt organizations in the world.
Yeah, I wonder if EA can say and justify putting in a lot of like infrastructure to get their own sort of systems like that for themselves to make their own games.
EA said so. FIFA said they were going to start making their own game or something, didn't they?
Well, yeah, that's what they have said. Yes.
Fuck, that's funny.
But EA is definitely going to keep making games.
Yes.
Soccer games.
Yeah,
it's fascinating. We also had Google killing Stadia. Shocker.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think any of those are as big as the other ones we brought up, but I did just want to sort of round off the sort of the look at the strangeness that was this year. So what do we got from the small list? We got Epic bought Bandcamp, Take-Two bought Zynga, Microsoft is trying to buy Activision Blizzard, Sony bought Bungie, GTA 6 leaks. Square Enix Montreal being acquired as part of that massive acquisition, then being closed as Onoma, and Yuji Naka getting arrested twice for insider trading.
I have a proposition to make you.
Oh, proposition me, Jeremy.
It's a joint award.
Oh, holding hands. Between GTA 6 and Yuji Naka?
No, between GTA 6 and Activision Blizzard.
It's interesting.
Biggest being Activision Blizzard, strangest being GTA 6.
I'm down with that because I do think those were some of the singularly strangest, biggest, like unexpected moments, not only in 2022, but in the gaming industry's entire history. Like I remember like saying out loud, holy shit, when I saw the news for Activision Blizzard. Like I said that, I was like, what? I was like, Microsoft's bought Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm like, it's like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, like all of the things. I'm forgetting all of them.
It was so big.
It's outrageous.
Yeah.
That acquisition it's staggering. Like that's the kind of thing that makes me want to like put my hand against the wall if I'm walking somewhere and stagger to just to a stop for a second, like I need a minute, like I'm winded. And yeah, these GTA 6 leaks were so real, I didn't even believe they were real. No, I think that's a good pairing. I think that's a good point. Well, congratulations to all of the winners. Should we go through the whole list, Jeremy?
Yeah. Let's give it a once over.
So the winner for best Elden Ring noun goes to Blackguard Big Boggart. Congratulations, Jerry. You want to do we want to trade off?
Yeah. The best I can't believe this game came out this year game is your pick was Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Mine was Ghostwire Tokyo.
Something good. I didn't think we'd be talking about Ghostwire Tokyo today. It's so funny.
Yeah.
The best pivot to open world. A tight race, a close race in this category went to Elden Ring. Congratulations, RobSoft.
And again, the Zeitgeist, the best defining game of the year. What game are you going to look back as the 22 game of, like, the defining game of 2022? It's just, you just can't neatly say this one, is Elden Ring.
It must be why no one's made this an award before, you know, even though it seems like such a good idea.
I'm going to Photoshop little awards for every single one of these and tweet them out.
I would love that. Yeah. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
The next category, the next winners are the best game to play on Steam Deck. If I had one, Jeremy's pick was Death Stranding, an excellent pick, and mine was Vampire Survivors. I'll just have to subsist on the phone offering.
Yeah. This game can hang award, the capital C cool award, and this game fucks award go to Neon White.
Congratulations, Ben Esposito. It's a well-earned victory in this category.
Mm-hmm.
Literally no competition.
Literally no competition. We both just said Neon White at the beginning. I went, well, that's the award, isn't it?
It just sure is.
Yeah.
The award for Where Are They Now? Jeremy's award was Deep Down,
Once
as it would be every year we ran this category. And mine was a surprisingly passionate outrage regarding The Last of Us 2 not being on PlayStation Plus or PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. R.I.P. Elizabeth, you would have loved Pentiment, according to Kerry, and rest in peace, Lizzie, you would have loved Marvel Snap, according to me, on the Queen's iPad.
Oh, man, that was at the start of this half. That seems like, oh man,
it's like forever ago.
We really chewed the fat on this last half. That's so funny.
Yeah.
The award for they can't keep getting away with this goes to Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet, but just this franchise in general.
Yeah, come on.
Pokemon.
The best 2022 game delay goes to Skull and Bones.
It's the best delay we've ever seen.
We'll see if it gets it next year as well.
And our final award for the evening, if you're watching live with us, the biggest / strangest 2022 moment is a shared victory. Goes to Xbox buying Activision Blizzard King for the biggest moment, and GTA 6 leak for the strangest moment of 2022. Congratulations to all of the nominees and all of the winners for tonight's show. It's been a privilege talking about you, but most importantly, thank you, game developers, for creating such amazing properties and for working so hard and sometimes being forced to work too hard. You're all great, and we love you.
Not you, Jim Ryan.
No, not you, Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
Not you, Mr. Pokemon. Who runs Pokemon?
It's a joint venture between three companies, between the Game Freak, between the Pokemon Company, and between Nintendo.
That's funny. Is Game Freak owned by Nintendo?
Oh no, it's not. It's different. It's a different combination of three companies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Pokemon is owned by Creatures. So the Pokemon Company, which owns Pokemon, is owned by Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures.
Creatures? What the hell is that?
It's the other company that is sort of more involved with like the managing of the property and other mediums, I believe.
Right.
Huh. Yeah, but it was founded by all three of them. So
yeah. Did you know that Game Freak started as a self-published video game magazine?
I didn't know that. It's a good name for a game.
That's fascinating.
It's a good name for a video game magazine. Game Freak.
In their little Wikipedia summary, under brands, it just says Pokemon.
What more could you need?
What more could you need? Just Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. That's going to do it for this week's episode, everybody. But remember, this isn't the end of our Game of the Year deliberations. This is only the beginning. This is the first half. We're about to roll into the second half live. So if you're with us, we're going to have a quick break and stretch our legs and then get right into our personal picks for Game of the Year. We're going to be talking about games we wish we'd gotten to. What else? Best games that didn't come out this year, and then the best games that did, in fact, come out this year. Will my hand still be hurting? Probably. Am I worried about it? Yes. But that's you can find out how badly it's hurting by finding the next episode of the MiniMapCast, which will be episode 135 for those of you playing at home. Thank you so much for listening. Whether you're here with us live in the chat, whether you're here in the not chat, in the not live, in the past. I don't want to say dead. I was trying to think of the opposite of live, but that's not right.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry, everyone. I really bungled that. Thanks for watching our show or listening to it. Oh, man, I really stumped myself with that, man. Okay. If you want to follow us, follow all the platforms to see when the episodes go live. You can follow all of our social accounts at MiniMapAU. That is Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. You can also find us on Hive at MiniMap. You could. I'm going to keep doing it, Jeremy. You can follow us individually. You can on
take
Twitter
over,
at least.
You can take over the Hive MiniMap account then, bud.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah.
I don't know what the password is, or it's probably just the. It's probably the password.
It's not.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I can't even do it. I can't even do it, Jeremy.
I sent you the password when I made it.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember that. Okay, maybe I'll look through that.
That's fine.
You can follow us individually in lots of different places, like on Twitter, if that still exists by the time you're listening to this. Jeremy, where can they follow you on Twitter and anywhere else?
At Obi-Wan Jez. I can't wait till when we have we're gonna go on a little hiatus. I'm gonna rewrite the opening closing script, and I'm gonna include all of the new social medias that have popped up over the next so co-host, Mastodon.
Yeah,
we'll make a MySpace. I'll set up a Twitter blog, a Tumblr blog. You know, all this shit.
MySpace still exists?
No, that one might actually be dead. That one might be like
MySpace, MySpace.com. Kind of. This does not look like MySpace. This looks like a news website.
Yeah, I think it's dead. Anyway, let's wrap it up.
MySpace. What do you mean we're talking about MySpace?
Kerry, where can they find you on Twitter?
You can find me at KJPalmer_24. I'm on Hive at KJ Palmer as well. You can head to minimap.com.au for everything else Minimap related. All our podcasts, including this one, all of the other episodes of this podcast, all of our other podcasts, the things we've written before, they're all up there for you to find, listen to, read, watch. It's all there. If you're listening to us on a podcast service or on YouTube, please make sure to give us a positive rating, those oh so tasty 5 stars. It does mean a lot to us. It helps the show out quite well algorithmically. It's totally free and it helps us out so much.
Do it on iTunes.
Yeah, on iTunes, a 5-star rating and some nice words would go very far for us. Lastly, if you wanted to support us in a different way, perhaps with some money, that option is available to you over on Patreon. If you want to help keep the lights and mics on, you could do that by heading on over to patreon.com/minimapau. And for $5 Australian, you can ask us questions to answer on the podcast, all while helping us out greatly. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We've got one more left for the year before we take a little bit of a break, a little cheeky break. And but mostly, if you listen to any shows, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.